Movie notes on the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, 2005 film, 7 September 2024 viewing. And yes, there's the twice in the title, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And I decided to include this. This is a great... These were such breakthrough DVD formats. So when I was growing up, you know, I'm old enough that I grew up with even floppy disks. So storage space in my lifetime has just gone poof. You know, and there's people out there making videos and documentaries left and right as a reminder of how far storage technology has progressed. But DVDs are one form of storage, and it's a double feature, and it's only one disc. And you know, I grew up in like Dinotopia and Pearl Harbor were movies that were like 3 or 4 hours long and required 2 DVD discs because they were so long. This has one movie on each side of the disc, and there are special features, like for each movie on each side. So this side has a Cinderella story, and this side has the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants. So, and when I go in to play the movie, I have to put it upside down to get the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay. Anyway, so it was a breakthrough in storage space technology. Not that anybody really cares, but I kept it in part because I was like, this was novel technology back in the day and age. Yeah, I have lived through accelerated technological advances in storage space and the corresponding physical hardware for storing stuff. And so, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is a fiction film about a group of female friends who keep in touch over the summer one year by sharing a miraculous pair of jeans that fits them all. One goes to Greece to be with her grandparents. One adjusts to her dad's new significant other. One goes to a soccer training camp, and one works and takes on a video production side project. Yes, and the book, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, was both my sister and I were each in mother-daughter book club, and it was like by grade. So my sister and I were not in the same book club. We're 2 grades apart in school. I have only one sibling, and she's approximately 3 years older than me. And so she read it, and then we read it. I think that was the order. And then the movie came out, if I'm getting that chronology correct. And so it was an interesting one. I've chosen to highlight the football soccer aspect to include it in my football/soccer coverage. Training camps do exist. I did go to soccer camp. I competed 1998 to 2006 inclusive seasons in consecutive, so no years off in there. And I did go to soccer camps, actually, multiple different formats. One was an overnight camp with like 8 hours a day of soccer. I did not ever go to a swimming camp, even though I was a swimmer for longer, for like 12 seasons. So it was an interesting one. Like, it's something that if a person is interested enough and or at high enough level, training camps might be included. So it actually includes the training camp aspect of soccer, which I thought was kind of cool. And the person who goes to the camp is like her high school won the national championships and stuff, so she's like kind of a big deal, that kind of thing. And I chose this in part for the soccer coverage aspect, the football soccer coverage aspect, but in part that very character it was a very different book than kind of any growing up, and how it handled the topic of a female losing their virginity and the social, physical, and emotional changes that come with having sex for the first time. A lot of books, if a person is insecure, they'll be like, virginity doesn't exist, right? Or that's one variety of insecurity. Another one might be they broach the topic of, okay, they've lost their virginity, and then all of a sudden they have a bunch of sexual partners or a bunch of sex after losing their virginity, which is another form of insecurity. And this book did a really great job of being like, let's pinpoint that incident and try and make it not as scary, right? Yes, there are physical changes. Yes, there are mental changes. Yes, there are social changes. But the thing is, you got to remember about the social component. And if you're having a hard time, you got to remember to ask for friends. like, right? Because it's about them not losing, right? They're gone, and you know, instead of like falling out of touch with each other, they keep in touch through this pair of pants. And because this person is struggling with losing her virginity, she found a male coach at the training camp very attractive, so she decided to flirt with him and kind of pursue him. And so he took her virginity, and then she feels like really kind of like in a shell afterwards, and like it doesn't necessarily feel good, and like doesn't really want to talk to anybody. And but this miraculous pair of jeans kept them all in contact with each other, so she didn't completely lose contact with her friend at work, right? She had somebody to talk to. So I was like, so this did a really good job of that. I think the book did a better job, but the movie still actually did choose to include it. And I was like, well, there you go. Hollywood got something else right to at least include it. I think, so I've talked about the topic of me losing my virginity, where I was raped, but I have not had consensual sex. So in that sense, I have not lost my virginity. And I am approximately 32 years of age, approximately. And I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. That is not a solicitation. Okay. Just including that clarification out there. I'm saving myself for my soulmate. And so I was thinking about, okay, and there's a person's virginity, and then if a person has multiple soulmates, then, and they save themselves for each other. And so, like, let's say there's like 10 people. So there's like one person, and both people lose the virginity, and then 2 through 10, right? It's the other person losing their virginity. However, it is each pairing still losing their virginity, and it's the couple that loses their virginity. Does that make sense? I was thinking, it was like, and sometimes, like, people think that people are, like, identical twins or triplets or quadruplets or whatever, like, they have to have sex in the same place in the same way if they share a soulmate. And I'm like, you know, if there's a 1.0, a 2.0, and a 3.0, maybe the 1.0 wants, let's say, like, let's just throw an isle in Scotland, like, because I'm part Scottish. I don't think there's from me. And so he really has that set in his mind. And maybe 2.0 has a villa in Italy that he's really interested in. And maybe 3.0 is like, I want to be training at home on a treadmill and be really sweaty and come and whisk you away in our bedroom that we share, all sweaty after a workout. And maybe I even stop training on the treadmill a little early just so we can canoodle for the first time, right? So in that case, the like 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0 matters, right? Because they have different visions for the first time. So I could say, whatever namespace that is might take my virginity, but if I have not clarified 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0, right, and they all have different dreams, then I might have to go a step further and make sure I unravel the mystery to make sure I get 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 right. Because 3.0 might really be wanting to be sweaty with that treadmill workout. And that might not be true for 1.0 and 2.0, but I don't know. Well, maybe that, okay. Anyway, I'm just abstracting. So there we go. That was something that crossed my mind with this. I was like, yeah, this was kind of the only book in my childhood that actually got that handling of that topic right, without like blaring insecurities being the grand takeaway. Right, the insecurities on the part of the speaker or the author, however one wants to phrase it. So there we go. Movie notes on the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, 2005 film, 7 September 2024 viewing.